You. Welcome to Immigration Talk with Cary and Sajmir. We're excited that you're here with us today. We will be talking about a way to get a green card through employment and the green card lottery process.
Well, hello everybody. Cary, I'm super excited about today's show partly because of the topics that we'll be covering today and partly because of the format of the question. We had 2 followers submit questions to us by way of video, so this is something a little different that we're going to be doing today, and Elliot here is going to help us with the technical process of it by inserting the videos. So without any further ado, let's start with the questions.
Okay, wonderful, thank you.
We actually have a follower who is a business owner, and he employs a worker that has the TPS status, and he wants to sponsor him for a green card before the TPS status runs out. What is the process and how should he go about doing that?
Okay, first of all, Sajmir, I'm really happy that this individual that has a TPS was able to find an employer that is willing to sponsor him, because the TPS situation now is so uncertain that it's good that he's going to be able to find another way to legalization, because the Trump administration is trying to phase out the TPS. So let me tell you how the employer can petition for the employee. It's a 3-part process. The first part is we're dealing with the Department of Labor, and we need a certificate from the Department of Labor. And then the second part is filing an employer petition with USCIS. And then the last part is all about the beneficiary, his background, and get his green card process.
So Cary, can you please explain a little bit what you need to prove to obtain the labor certificate from the Department of Labor?
Yes, Sajmir, we work with the Department of Labor a lot on these cases, and what we need to do first is we need to get a prevailing wage. A prevailing wage is the amount of money that the employer will need to pay the employee if the employee is hired. The government makes sure that it's a fair wage and that the wage that is paid doesn't undercut the U.S. markets. So it's a way that the government protects the U.S. markets. The second thing is we need to do recruitment efforts. We need to advertise the position and make sure that any candidates that apply to the position are disqualified, are reasonably disqualified, so that the foreign worker can be employed. And then the last thing, once we do the advertising for the position, then what we do is we submit the application for the labor certificate. And once we get the labor certificate, then we go to the next part.
Okay, then Cary, what happens after you get the labor certificate?
What we do is, once we have the labor certificate in hand, it's great. I mean, it's almost a done deal. The second part is the employer submitting the petition to USCIS. And the second part is all about the employer. USCIS is analyzing that the employer is a legitimate company and that the employer can support the prevailing wage for the employee. So they will be looking at the employer's financials.
Okay, then how long does it take for the process?
For the petition process?
Yes.
Well, it's good because they have something called premium processing for this type of petition. So if you pay a little extra, you can get your results in 15 days. You can get your answer. And most of my employer clients do want their answer in 15 days.
Okay. Then let's say that the petition is approved. Can you get the green card then?
Well, now that the petition is approved, the third thing that's going to happen is that the USCIS is going to look at the background of the individual, and it's all going to be the phase 3 is all about the employee's background, the employee's medical history, and just if the employee is good, nothing in their background that would prevent them from getting a green card, then it's highly likely that they'll get their green card. At the end of the process, there will be an interview. There will be an employer interview, and the employee will have to go to the interview. We've been with employees to interviews before, and one thing that I wanted to mention about an employee interview is that the one question that they do ask is, have you violated your status? Have you ever violated your status? So it's important, for people that expect to get a green card through employment, that to be expecting that question and not violate their status, their current status.
Okay, Cary, we have come to the most important and the most exciting part of today's show. This is where we interact with with our followers in a more direct way. So like I said earlier, they have submitted questions by way of video, so we're able to see them and actually, listen to what they have to say. So Elio, please do us the honors.
Hello, thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Adriana Alices. I'm an international student from Madrid, Spain. This is my 5th year living in the US, and I recently graduated from my master's at the University of Florida. I'm currently working under my OPT, so my question for you will be, what should we expect when applying for our HB1 visa? What our company should do and shouldn't do, what we international students should do and shouldn't do. And my second question is if we international students have any chances of applying for a green card and getting it. And if we don't, what are other options that we can apply for when our OPT ends? Thank you very much.
Okay, that was so great. It was great to hear from her and to interact with our followers this way. Well, what I heard was that she first asked about the H-1B process. And what I want to explain about the H-1B process is that it's a temporary process. It's a temporary employment visa. And it's not permanent. It doesn't lead to a route to permanent residency. The other thing that I want to explain about the H-1B is that you have to participate in a lottery to get the H-1B, unless there's an exception for the employer. For example, if the employer was a university, then the university is exempt from having to participate in the lottery. But normally, if it's a private employer, they have to participate in the lottery program. And what will happen is the employer will have to register the employee in the lottery, and if the employee gets picked, then that's great. Then they can move on to the second part, which is the petition process. But it's a gamble. It's uncertain and it's expensive. So what I try to do is I hope for the employer to be able to petition for the employee on a permanent basis to get a permanent green card. And that would be through the process that we just explained, through the 3-part process of going through the Department of Labor and going through USCIS and then going through the process of getting the green card. For her, I think that she also asked about the green card possibility. What are the green card possibilities for her? She would need an employer sponsor. If she gets an employer sponsor, we have dealt with the Department of Labor so many times, and we know how to get the labor certificate. Once she gets the labor certificate, it's a done deal. All she needs to do is the employer has to prove that he can support the employee and then go through the green card process, and she can get her permanent residency through an employer. So if she has an employer sponsor, that would be great. The other thing that she mentioned was if there's any other possibility other than employment-based visas that she can get a green card. Well, the other ways are family-based petitions. If she has a significant other that can petition for her, legal permanent resident, spouse, or U.S. citizen, or if she has a parent that can petition for her. But if she has any specific questions, or if anybody else has specific questions, call our office. We will work with you, we will talk with you, and we will analyze your case in detail, because each case is a little different.
Cary, I must say that I'm very glad that our show is being followed, and people are, commenting, sending us questions, and they're from different parts of the country. For example, our next question comes from somebody who lives in Virginia. So my hope is that more and more our followers start interacting with us in this way. So it's been great to see that our show is progressing and a lot of people are following us.
Yes.
So Elio, please, can you play our next question?
Hello, Cary and Sajmir. My name is Nick and I live in Virginia. I have been following your immigration talk show on Facebook. I like it, thank you. And I have a question for you. My question is, what is the status of the green card lottery winners who were affected by President Trump's temporary ban due to the coronavirus pandemic? Thank you so much.
Okay, well, why don't you answer this one, Sajmir?
Well, Cary, thank you. This question is near and dear to my heart because I myself came to the United States through the green card lottery, and this has given me the opportunity to live and work in the United States, go to school, go to law school, pursue my dreams. And as far as explaining what the lottery process is, or what the lottery program is, it's basically a program that gives the opportunity to people to come to immigrate to the United States from countries that have historically low levels of immigration.
Yes.
For example, people like myself, from Albania or other countries.
Yes. So, Sajmir, you're telling me you won the lottery?
Yes, Cary, I did win the lottery. I was very young back then. All I know is that my dad, he applied for it and we won and we came to the United States.
That's wonderful. And Sajmir, what made you want to study immigration law and become an immigration lawyer?
Well, Cary, my life experiences, like I told you, I came to the U.S. through the green card lottery. I got the opportunity to work with immigrant workers in the labor movement right after college, and I also have petitioned for my wife to come join me from Albania. And these experiences put together sparked in me the interest to pursue immigration law. And I know, Cary, that you have an immigration story. Why don't you share that with us?
Yes, well, my immigration story is that my parents came from Cuba in the early 60s. They fled communism and they were able to get asylum here in the U.S. And thank God that was possible for them. I remember they had to leave everything back in Cuba and start all over here in the U.S. I remember my parents just basically working hard while I was a kid just so that my siblings and I could have an opportunity to excel. And that's one of the things that I'm most proud of, is that I was able to excel based on their hard effort. And so I truly do appreciate the immigrant story, and thank God that we're here in this country and that I've been able to provide for my family through the work that I do. Now, the other thing is that we are excited about opening opportunities for other people, because through the immigration process, my immigration story, your immigration story, opportunities have been opened up for us. And that is why in our firm we have a passion to open opportunities for other immigrants.
Cary, well, I'm so glad that we can relate to each other through our immigration stories. I know that everybody in our office has an immigration story, and I'm so glad that we can relate to each other, but also relate to our clients, because our clients are immigrants and we are able to understand what they're going through and help guide them through the process. So, this truly makes our law firm a truly multicultural law firm, and I'm very happy, and I'm for the opportunity to be working with you guys.
Thank you, Sajmir. So now let me see. Let's answer the question.
Yes,
Finalize the
yes.
question. Currently, the 2020 lottery winners are nervous about losing their visa. These are the 2020 green card lottery winners. Because there was a restriction put by the Trump administration on these green cards. Now, that has been lifted. Recently, a federal court has ruled that the issuance of these visas must resume and be expedited so people can obtain their visas this year. So the green card lottery visa winners don't have to worry right now, because the federal court has ruled that the issuance of the visa must resume and be expedited so people can obtain their visas.
Well, Cary, I'm just glad to hear that the lottery winners do have some sort of relief, and my hope is that the green card lottery continues in the future to give people like me the opportunity to come live and work in this great country.
Yes, definitely, Sajmir. We are so glad that we are able to be here and that we're able to answer questions for the community, for our followers. We're excited that people are sending questions in writing, and we're excited now that we've even seen people sending in video questions. So please get excited about it and send us your questions. Send us your questions by email or by comments on our show, or you can do a video question just like this and you could possibly be on our show. So we appreciate your participation very much, and we thank you. We thank you. So keep sending us the questions, and also remember to like us on Facebook and to share our show with your family and friends.
Well, thank you everybody for having joined us today. We will be back next Friday, and keep those questions coming and stay safe. Thank you.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
At Torres Law, our passion is to open paths to opportunities for people. We're your team when you need help with family and employment visas, criminal defense, and serious accidents.
I'm Karina Torres, and I keep our clients informed throughout every step of the process.
I'm attorney Joanna Dogo, and I help immigrants pursue the American dream.
Hi, I'm law clerk Sajmir Jicola, and I support the attorneys at our law firm in helping you.
We're the Torres team, and we're here for you.